Hello and welcome to another tier list video. Today we are taking a look at Mexican fast food. Now, while admittedly none of these are really anywhere close to authentic Mexican cuisine, I'm still a huge fan of American Mexican fast food, and I've been to all these locations quite a few times, some of them countless times, so I feel like I can give a pretty good assessment on each of them. So starting us off, we have Taco Bell. Now, Taco Bell, I would say the thing that they do better than other Mexican fast food places is their variety of menu items. Taco Bell is always coming out with like new and interesting menu items, and I think part of that is just to try and get people to come. But in terms of the quality of the ingredients, I think Taco Bell probably has the worst quality of ingredients on this list. I mean, the beef, the chicken, the beans, none of it is great. If you get some of their specialty and unique items, usually the quality is a little bit better, but if you get just like a standard beef taco, which sometimes is what I go for, you're really not going to get a whole lot at Taco Bell. And especially if you get just like a beef taco, the amount of meat that they give you on your taco is just absolutely pitiful. It's such a small amount. So at Taco Bell, if you're going there, I usually recommend getting more of a unique specialty item because they seem to put a little bit more effort, a little bit more creativity and ingredients in general into those. One thing I will say at Taco Bell that it is highly underrated and really just unknown is their breakfast. Taco Bell breakfast is actually really good. If I'm going to Taco Bell, like for a taco or a quesadilla or something, I usually never go to Taco Bell before 11 o'clock. I'm usually going late at night when Taco Bell is kind of the only thing open. Because Taco Bell, especially compared to some of these other places on this list, it's not the best. It's definitely much worse quality, so you kind of go and it's late at night and it's really the only thing that's open. With that in mind, Taco Bell breakfast is actually pretty good. I've gone there for a few times, when I'm going somewhere and I gotta stop in a drive-through. Taco Bell breakfast is surprisingly good. If you haven't tried it, I actually recommend it. Definitely much better than their dinners, I would say. So Taco Bell, for me, it would probably be honestly a D tier, at least on this list. But because their breakfast is pretty good, it's gonna bring them up to a C tier. Up next, we have Taco John's. Now, I really like Taco John's. For me, it's just kind of a slightly better Taco Bell. So Taco Bell definitely has more of a variety in terms of items. They have a lot of unique items, a lot of just like crazy ones that sound pretty cool and honestly taste pretty good. But Taco John's, if you're just looking at the fundamentals of fast food in Mexican cuisine, honestly, they just do pretty much everything better than Taco Bell. Taco John's also started doing breakfast a couple years ago, and while Taco Bell's breakfast is really good, I think Taco John's, you can just tell the ingredients are a bit better quality. There's not quite as much variety in the menu items, like I said, but Taco John's, for me, overall, it's just kind of a better Taco Bell, and that isn't even considering the potato olays. I love Taco John's potato olays. Sometimes I would go through the drive-thru just to get a thing of potato olays. I mean, these things are delicious. If you haven't had the pleasure of trying them, I recommend it. They're fantastic. Taco John's gonna find themselves up in the B tier. Up next, we have Chipotle. Now, if you've seen any of my other fast food tier lists, you know that I am a die-hard Chipotle fan. I absolutely love Chipotle. It's my favorite fast food place, period. So as you can guess, on the Mexican fast food place, it is going to find itself up in the S tier. It's definitely the most expensive, and it's not quite as fast as some of these other places because, there's really no drive-through for Chipotle. But you can still go in there, get your burrito, get your bowl, and get out pretty quickly. And Chipotle, it just has the best quality ingredients. You get a lot of food, and sure, you are paying more, but for 8, 9, 10 bucks, it's gonna fill me up, honestly. So Chipotle, just great all around. Their guacamole is delicious. Even though it's extra, I still get it every time. Chipotle, deservedly in the S tier for me. Up next, we have Qdoba. Now, for me, Qdoba is kind of what I go to when there's no Chipotle around. Back when I was in college, there was no Chipotle nearby. The closest one was about an hour drive away, but there was a Qdoba in town, so I would usually go to Qdoba whenever I was craving, a burrito or something. But it's just not quite as good as Chipotle. I will say, the ingredients, whether it's the meat, the salsas, they're just not quite as tasty for me personally at Qdoba. It's still really good. It's good quality food. One thing I will say Qdoba has over Chipotle is their queso. I think Qdoba's queso is definitely superior to Chipotle's queso. I don't really even get Chipotle's queso because I usually go for guac, and I feel like guac and queso, it's not really necessary to have both of those on there. But at Qdoba, I always go for the queso. I think they do a great job. Overall, Qdoba, it's solid, but for me, it's just kind of a a step down from Chipotle, but you know, a step down from Chipotle is still pretty high up. So Qdoba, I think, will rightfully so find themselves in the A tier. Up next, we have El Pollo Loco. Honestly, I've only been to this place a handful of times, and I've kind of gotten similar things every time I've gone. I've always gone for their burritos, so I haven't really branched out too much into their menu. Admittedly, their menu isn't huge compared to something like a Taco Bell, but they do have a decent amount of variety. And El Pollo Loco, I would say they're pretty good. You know, I would say they're definitely a step above Taco Bell and Taco John's, I would say, in terms of quality of their food. They're definitely a bit more expensive, but my experiences in El Pollo Loco, I've gotten burritos, like I said, every time I've gone there. But overall, a pretty good place. I would give it an A tier, but I just haven't really explored their menu quite enough. But all their burritos are pretty solid, so gonna find myself in a B tier, mostly because I haven't been there enough times to really give it a solid A tier. Last but not least, we have Del Taco. Now this is a place that I've been to a few times. There's none in Minnesota where I'm at, but I've been to them in California, as well as Colorado. I think they have locations as well that I visited. And for me, it's kind of like a regional Taco Bell. Like usually if there's not a Taco Bell in the area, there'll be a Del Taco instead. And honestly, I think the quality is relatively similar. Some people swear by Del Taco. They're like, it's the best. I love Del Taco. But truthfully, I think Del Taco is kind of just a Taco Bell, but it has less variety. You know, Taco Bell, they got all these crazy menu items, always coming out with new stuff. Del Taco is kind of just Taco Bell if you took kind of the main, you know, the main orders, the main menu items, and put them in Del Taco. One thing I will say about Del Taco, it is by far the cheapest one on this list. I mean, all of these are decent deals, I would say. But Del Taco, you know, you can go in there and you can get a lot of tacos for really cheap. So in terms of quality and variety, I would put Del Taco in the D tier. But just because it's so cheap, it's going to find itself up in the C tier. So that's my list. And let me know your guys' thoughts if you have any agreements or disagreements. I'd love to hear. Hope you guys enjoy.